What's up, everybody? It's almost here. 1 month away. We're 1 month away. We're going to have a month where we have the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations. And I'm going to preview the African Cup of Nations groups. I'm going to give my predictions for the groups. They were drawn a couple months. They were drawn a while ago, actually, but you don't want to make group predictions, 6 months before the tournament because you don't know how squads are going to look. You don't know what form teams are coming into the tournament with. But now we have a good idea, and I don't want to wait too long to make this video because by the time Bayern is back and playing, I'm probably going to forget to make my AFCON group stage predictions. But I'm going to get it done now. I'm going to publish it for the people who watch this now. Because I do think, there's some countries that have lost some key players, but I don't think there will be too many big injuries. There is 3 weeks or so left. The players will leave a week before, I think, a week before AFCON starts. So only 2.5 weeks really left until players start leaving for AFCON. So we're going to go into this, predict all the groups, all 6 groups. At the end, I'm going to give you my favorites, my potential teams I think are going to flop or not meet expectations, and some surprise teams. I do think there will be, like any other tournament in football history, there will be surprise teams. It's how it works. There always is. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm excited. The reigning champs are Senegal. Sadio Mane and Senegal, they are the champions of the beautiful AFCON trophy. I love the AFCON trophy. I do think the AFCON trophy is a little bit underrated. Like people, when I think about football trophies, I think about the World Cup. I think about the Champions League trophy. I think about the Premier League trophy. I think about the Meisterschale and the Bundesliga. I don't really think of the AFCON trophy, but the AFCON trophy is a thing of beauty. It does look a little cheap, not going to lie. It looks like it's hollow, but it still looks like a work of art. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on what the AFCON trophy looks like. I think it looks nice. Some people, you might not agree. Who cares? But yeah, let's just get into it real quickly. I'll try to keep this short, not like an hour long, but yeah. Group A, you got your boys Boniface and Osimhen. So in this group, you have Cote d'Ivoire, the hosts, Ivory Coast. You have Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. You have the hosts who are coming into the tournament with Serge Aurier, Bolly, Kusono, who's one of the best center backs in the Bundesliga at Leverkusen, Indika, Sangare, Adingra. They've got a decent little squad cooking here. They're coming into the tournament. There are no more friendly matches, I think, before the AFCON. So all the teams, the next games these teams play are the AFCON games. So coming into the tournament, their last five, they're win, win, draw, draw, win. So they're coming in undefeated in their last five into the tournament. And their team is looking pretty strong. Right under them, you have Nigeria. Nigeria is a little bit of, they're big. When we think of Africa, when we think of big AFCON nations, we think of Nigeria, no matter how badly they're doing, especially right now. And sure, it's fun to clown them. They didn't make the World Cup. They lost out to Ghana. Whose jollof rice is better? I don't know, but we like to troll them. They got, obviously, Calvin Bassey in the back. They have their big boys up front, Boniface and Osimhen. They have Iwobi. Yeah, so Nigeria is a shout in this group. And then obviously you have the two smaller teams in the group that people aren't really looking at, but you have Guinea-Bissau, and you have Equatorial Guinea, and they don't really have any massive players. Casual fans. I'm a casual. I'm not an expert of the African nation, the nations in the African Federation, but they don't really have too many huge stars. But Nigeria coming into this tournament are in a draw, win form. So 3 draws, 2 wins in the last 5. And Guinea-Bissau and Equatorial Guinea are coming into the tournament with pretty good records themselves. Guinea-Bissau with a win, draw, a win, and a loss. So 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in the last 5. And actually, Equatorial Guinea have 4 wins and a draw in their last 5, and they got a big win over Tunisia a couple international breaks ago. So they're no slouches. They're no slouches. Now remember, Group A. In African Cup of Nations, some of the best third place teams get to go on to the knockout stages. So I think it's the 2 best. I'm sorry. I think it's there's 6 groups, top 2, so the 4 best third place teams get to go through. So 4 of the 6 third place teams get to go through, and maybe one of these teams can go through. So we're gonna get into what I think the group is gonna end up finishing in terms of ranking. unfortunately, in fourth, Guinea-Bissau. I do think, they're coming in a little hot into the tournament, but they don't have any game changers, in my opinion. From just researching the team, again, I'm not an expert on the African Cup of Nations. I'm not an expert on African football, but it seems to me Guinea-Bissau is not going to have enough to push for a third place spot in this group, just due to the lack of star power in the team. Can they really say what's up to the Nigerias and Cote d'Ivoires with all those huge players they have in their team? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think in fact, I don't know, but I really get the feeling that they just don't. But they're gonna be in the tournament. They're gonna what's up. They're gonna say what's up. They're gonna be there. The fans are gonna be there cheering. But fourth place for them. And of course, I'm gonna go a little basic. Equatorial Guinea, third place. But I do think Equatorial Guinea, if they get a single win in this group, because usually in these tournaments where the third place teams go through, a single win usually gets you into the next round. I do think Equatorial Guinea, if they go and beat Guinea-Bissau, they will go in my opinion, into the next round as one of the best third place teams. Um, and I do think they beat Tunisia, guys. They beat Tunisia, and Tunisia is an African team that went to the World Cup. Let's not forget. So I think these guys can give a good game to Nigeria and Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, whatever you want to call them. But I do think third is their ceiling. And yeah, second place. I don't know. I don't know if people will agree with me, and I know people will. No, actually, I know for a fact people will not agree with me with who I have at first. But I do have Ivory Coast in second, and I do think it's Nigeria and Ivory Coast fighting for first. Obviously, the trolls out there and the people, even Nigeria fans will tell you Nigeria might not even make it out of the group. But I'm sorry, that just won't happen. I'm sorry. But yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, strong team. They have Serge Aurier. They have, like I said, Willy Boli, not Willy Boli, but they have Boli, Kosunu, Indika, Sangare, Adingra. That's a solid base in the team. So they're coming in undefeated in their last five, also into the tournament. Let's see. Let's see. I think they'll get second. Cote d'Ivoire has been in a little bit of a slouch for the last couple of years. They haven't had a strong team in a while. But this team is looking pretty strong, especially with the emergence of Kosunu, Adingra, and Sangare. Let's talk. Let's talk. They could potentially push for first, but let's talk. I think they'll get second. And obviously, first, I'm going with Nigeria. Nigeria have been in the dumps. They were terrible in the last AFCON. Didn't qualify for the World Cup, but I'm sorry. Boniface, Osimhen. I didn't even mention Lukman, Onyeka, Iwobi, Calvin Bassey. I'm sorry. They're coming in with three draws. Their last three games have been draws against subpar opposition. But I'm sorry, with the way Boniface is playing in Europe, with Osimhen had a legendary season last season. Iwobi's having a decent season at Everton. Lookman's he had a good season last year, but this year he's still kind of playing decently. I do think Nigeria will get first. I do think Nigeria will surprise people at the AFCON. I mean, just how can Nigeria fans expect to go out in the group when you have two of the best strikers in the world? Absolutely. Boniface is probably, if we're being real, Boniface is probably top 5 striker in the world. Absolutely, because he's in one of the best teams in the world, best football playing teams in the world, in Leverkusen. And Osimhen, he's that guy at Napoli. He's Napoli's main guy and led them to a league title last Serie A season. So I'm sorry, I think Nigeria will pull through with some big performances here and get first. Group B. So obviously in Group B you got Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, and Mozambique. Just gonna kind of disregard Mozambique here. Mozambique are two losses, 3 wins in the last 5, but much like Guinea-Bissau, not much star power in that team. Not many game changers in my opinion. Obviously you have Cape Verde. Cape Verde, the best player in their team is probably Steven Moreira, and Steven Moreira, if you don't know who that is a player for Columbus Crew. He's one of the starters for Columbus Crew. And Columbus Crew just became the MLS champion, so maybe he could do something for Cape Verde. And obviously, in the Ghana team, you got Kudus, the Ayew brothers, specifically Jordan Ayew. The other one is completely finished, Williams. And obviously for Egypt, you got Omar Marmoush, El Neni, Mohamed Salah. But I think the way I talked about Mozambique, guys, I think you guys won't be surprised that I'm going Mozambique fourth. Just the same situation as Guinea-Bissau. Maybe they could push for third, but I don't think I see them winning any games. I really don't see them winning any games at this tournament, to be honest. 0 points for them. Um, so yeah, third place, I'm sorry. You might be surprised, but I'm going Ghana. Ghana in their last 5 have 3 losses and 2 wins. Now I know when it comes to international tournaments, players will play better. Ghana was a team that went to the World Cup. Kudus is on fire at West Ham. But Williams is still banging in goals for Atletico Bilbao in Spain. But surprises happen at every international tournament. Surprises happen, and there's always surprises in the group. And I do think, the way Ghana's coming into this tournament, not on the best of form, that Cape Verde will come in at second. You might call me crazy for making that pick, but they do have, well, they're not on the best of form in their last 5. They have 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw coming into the tournament in their last 5. They did get a 3-1 win to Burkina Faso, who that's a team I do kind of rate in the African Federation, but I just have this gut feeling. I really just have this gut feeling that Cape Verde can do something and get second place and advance to the next round. Now, if they don't, I do think they'll still come third. But if it is the case and they end up disappointing and getting third, I think it's a case where they're not going to be one of the better third place teams going through. But I'm going to believe in Cape Verde. I'm going to stick to my guns. No changes to these predictions. I'm not going to make 2 days before AFCON, I'm not going to make a video saying making a change to my group stage predictions. No, these are my group stage predictions. They are staying and I'm sticking by it. Second place for Cape Verde, absolutely. And obviously first Egypt. This is Mohamed Salah's, well, it depends. This might be Mohamed Salah's last chance at silverware for Egypt. And as Egypt's best player, greatest player of all time, one of the best African players of all time, probably top 5 by now, for sure, top 5, maybe even top 3, maybe even the best African player of all time. That's up for debate. We don't know, but you have to win something. You have to win an AFCON to be considered one of the best Africans of all time, one of the best African players of all time from that continent in the world. You have to win AFCON. And Salah is playing fantastically for Liverpool again this season, scoring a bunch, assisting a bunch. Today, Arsenal and Liverpool just played. He scored a fantastic goal. It's his last chance. And, El Neni, he's getting older. He won't be there for long. You got young guns like Marmoush in there. But this is Salah's last chance, and I do think he will be gunning to get to the final again. He will be gunning for it, and he will want to win it again. He will want revenge like he wanted against Real Madrid. But we know what happened when he wanted revenge against Real Madrid. We know what happened. Will he get it? That's up to him. He has to play well. He has to be absolutely on fire if Egypt want a chance. If he pulls up and he's not playing well, Egypt can be disregarded 100%, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Salah is coming in with a vengeance. And is AFCON going to be ready for it? I don't know. We'll see. So obviously the next group is Group C. This in my opinion, very, very close group. Now you have the defending champions in Senegal, Sadio Mane in Senegal. You got Onana with Cameroon. You have Guinea. You have Gambia. Obviously, Guinea has the high flying second highest Bundesliga goal scorer, Segu Guirassy. This is an interesting group because it becomes interesting because of Guirassy. Can Guirassy push Guinea to new heights and do something in this group? And to be honest, I watch a lot of Bundesliga. I'm a Bayern fan. I do think he would. I do think he can. I do think, the least equipped team of this group are AFCON or Gambia. They're kind of just here to be, they're just kind of just here for the vibes. They're going to come, try to get a win and sneak into as one of the best third place teams. But to be honest, let's just get into it. I do think they're going to get a fourth place. This isn't one of the weaker teams I think that will surprise in AFCON. And it's like a Guinea-Bissau situation. They just don't have firepower, really. They don't have anything that I think that could hurt Guinea, Cameroon, and Senegal. And Guinea, Cameroon, and Senegal have a ton that could hurt Gambia. I do think Gambia probably, at best, sneak a draw against, like, Cameroon. Third, I'm going Guinea. I'm sorry, I'm going Cameroon. I literally I have third place on the screen for Cameroon, and I say Guinea. What am I doing? Cameroon does have Onana. Cameroon does have Anguissa. They have some players, bro, but to be honest, Cameroon was shocking at the World Cup, in my opinion. I know they beat Brazil surprisingly, but they were already out at that point. Already. And coming into the tournament, Cameroon is on 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw in their last 5. I really, Onana, he does pull off great saves for United once again, but he's the sole reason United are out of the Champions League. If Onana shows up in the current Onana form, I'm sorry, I can't trust Onana to lead Cameroon and be a pivotal part and make crucial saves in the group stages to secure a first or second place. Onana's one of my main reasons I'm putting him at third. Absolutely, I can't trust this guy. He's had a terrible time at United so far. So many mistakes, so many individual mistakes. I really can't trust him. That's why I'm putting Cameroon third, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they do get third. And obviously, second, we know who I'm putting at first, but second, I'm going Guinea. The power of Guirassy. The guy is insane. Everything he touches in the Bundesliga for Stuttgart, it just turns into gold this season. I think last season, he ended the Bundesliga season off with 11 or 12 goals. This season, I think he's on 16 or 17 goals. The guy is absolutely, he's doing a madness. Now, this might be one of my picks that ends up aging terribly, but in the last 5, Guinea is 3 losses, a win, and a draw. But I do think when it comes to international tournaments again, teams will play better, players are sharper, players are more focused. Now, obviously, that doesn't, if when we're talking about international tournaments and we're talking about increased focus and increased, seriousness, AFCON may be the federation that may apply to the least, but still, I believe in Guirassy, second place, and obviously first place, Sadio Mane. Mendy in goal, even though he's kind of trash now. Idrissa Gana Gueye, Sarr, Mane, Jackson. I think it's pretty clear that Senegal will get first. They're one of the favorites for this tournament. I know Sadio Mane is in the Saudi Pro League chopping it up with Ronaldo and Anderson Talisca and Tellez and all those guys at Al Nassr, but I still think, if Mane can go back to back here in the if Mane can go back to back here in the AFCON, bro, he's up there now. He would be top 3 almost, in my opinion. He could be pushing for top 3 African players of all time if he does that. So Mane's a man on a mission. He's been chilling in the Saudi Pro League, but now he's coming back. He's coming to this AFCON to defend. He's coming in serious. I'm taking Senegal seriously. First place. Now, we got Group D. This is one of the weaker groups, in my opinion. But obviously, you have Algeria with the likes of Mahrez, Benzemaini, Atal, Hassan Mawar. They're 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5. They're coming into this tournament hot. You have Angola, who they're a hard team to beat. Angola is a hard team to beat. If you look at their previous fixtures, so many draws. This is not a team that goes down easily, no matter who they're playing. These guys will fight. These guys will make getting 3 points a living hell. So expect that. But Angola at the same time doesn't have any superstar amazing players. Burkina Faso, their best player is Edmond Tapsoba. Along with Kosunu, him and Kosunu have been running it for Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. One of the starting center backs in Leverkusen's formidable back 3 in the Bundesliga this season. Burkina Faso are coming in with 2 draws, 2 losses, and a win in their last 5. So they're not coming in too hot. But at the same time, there's also Mauritania. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but also I don't care. Mauritania, however you say it, they have really nothing to offer here. No superstar players. I saw some of their highlights on YouTube. I really wasn't impressed. I'm kind of scared for them, if I'm being honest. So, 4th place for them. I lack of firepower. A draw, 2 losses, and 2 wins in the last 5 coming into the tournament. I think most people would bet on Mauritania to be 4th. Obviously, I'm going to go Angola 3rd, although they are a tough team to beat. Now, if these guys can go and beat Mauritania and get a draw to Burkina Faso or something, or even just the sole win against Mauritania, I would be worried more for if I would be more worried about Angola in a knockout stage game because these guys are so freaking hard to beat. They are really hard to beat. Let me just take you through their last results. This is more than the last five, but they could draw, win, draw, loss, draw. And that loss was like very close 1-0 to Ghana. Very, very close 1-0 to Ghana. Could have been a draw as well. They could have even maybe won it too. So this is a hard team to beat. So I'd like to see Angola. I do think Angola will be one of the better third place teams that advances to the knockout stage. I really believe so. Don't sleep on Angola. If these guys get to the knockouts, they're gonna whoever they face, you are gonna have a very hard 90 minutes to get past these guys into the next round. Trust me. Obviously, second, I'm going Burkina Faso. Tabsoba is the leader of this team. Tabsoba is here to take Burkina Faso to the next round, but I do think Burkina Faso probably a round of 16 quarterfinals max for them. And obviously, first you have to go with Algeria, one of the favorites for this tournament, in my opinion. They did terrible at the last. I mean, dog shit. They were dog shit. Let's be honest. They were dog shit at the last World Cup. They did not at the last AFCON. They didn't even make the World Cup. They were extra dog shit in World Cup qualifying. Mahrez and those guys need to come back and gain some respect back in the African Federation because they were looking like clowns for 2-3 years straight here. So Algeria coming in hot. Like I said, Algeria are 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 coming in. They're one of the only teams coming in with an undefeated record, winning a bunch of games coming into the tournament. So Algeria first for me, 100%. Group E, probably the weakest group. Probably the weakest group in Group E. You have Sehiri, that's Tunisia's, Kazri. I better not see. I think Kazri retired, right? I think after the World Cup, Kazri retired. But if I see Kazri on the pitch, guys, for Tunisia, again, at like 59 years old, however old that bald guy is, I'm turning off the TV. I'm not taking AFCON seriously. I better not see Kazri on that field. I better not see it. So assuming Kazri is laying at home in a casket or something, they have, their best player is probably Sehiri, however you say it, at Eintracht Frankfurt. He's a center back. They also have a center back on Union Berlin, Laoduni or something. I'm sorry with these pronunciations. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I don't know how to say it. And obviously Mali, you have Traore, who's you might not know about Traore, but Traore is a starter at Real Sociedad. And Real Sociedad are doing a madness in the Champions League. Traore, they have Haidara from Leipzig, Basuma, as you see on the left of your screen. They got some players. And obviously South Africa, they don't really have anything. Namibia, they don't really have anything. So I think you can guess where I'm going with this group. Fourth for Namibia. I do think they're one of the teams that at best a draw, or at best a sneak win against South Africa, which is still very unlikely in my opinion. Excuse me. But they have won their last 2 coming into the tournament. That is something to say. No, I'm sorry. They just actually no. Their form is actually terrible coming into this tournament. Never mind. Forget I said that shit. Their form is terrible. Namibia 4th place, no chance. South Africa 3rd place. I think South Africa will be one of the 3rd place teams that won't qualify. I don't see them qualifying. And if they do, pray for South Africa. I think they're equally as bad as Namibia. They don't have any good players. If I see Shabalala on the field, please tell me Shabalala isn't playing anymore, right? If I see Shabalala on the field again, just like Kazri, I'll shut my damn stream off and I won't be watching any AFCON. I won't make any videos on AFCON if I see Shabalala on that field. No to Shabalala. 2nd place, Tunisia. They did lose Kazri, as I was saying, but I think they have the strength. They still have enough strength. I mean, they were just a World Cup team a year ago. They made it to the World Cup a year ago. So I do think they're clear favorites to be second in this group. But Mali, obviously, 1st place. Basuma is playing fantastically at Spurs. Traore playing fantastically at what's his face? Real Sociedad. Haidara, one of these high energy, chaotic midfielders from Leipzig. Mali 1st place in my opinion. Mali 1st place in my opinion. And this is our last group. Last group of the AFCON group stages. Tanzania, Zambia, DR Congo, and Morocco. Again, Tanzania and Zambia, they don't really have anything to offer. They really don't have anything to offer. Zambia coming in with a loss, win, loss, draw, and win in the last 5. Tanzania with a loss, win, draw, win, loss in the last 5. Neither team coming in with any kind of momentum into the tournament. I don't think there'll be any World Cup tax on Tanzania and Zambia. I don't think they'll have much to offer. 4th place for Tanzania. Zambia 3rd place. Now you go to DR Congo. DR Congo has Mbeba, who's been in Europe for a while doing his thing. They have Wisa, as you see on the right side of your screen at Brentford. They have Silas and Bakambu. These guys have some attacking power. But I'm sorry, you were in a group with the World Cup semifinalists in Morocco. Morocco, unfortunately, will be missing Nusar Mazraoui. He took a bad injury in Bayern's game against Manchester United in their last Champions League game. He's going to be out 6-7 weeks, so he's missing AFCON. Huge blow. I'm pretty sure, unless something miraculous happens, he's missing AFCON. Unfortunately for them, and he's, in my opinion, more important than Hakimi in the team. Just saying, I think he's a better player than Hakimi, but obviously you have guys like Hakimi, Aguerd, Hakimi. I just said Hakimi. You have Bruno in goal, Amrabat, Ziyech, who making return to the national team, Adli. They're stacked. Morocco's stacked. So yeah, they're gonna be first. I think they're the favorites for this tournament. DR Congo in second, a team to watch out for in the knockout stages. But yeah, I think most people would make that prediction as Morocco at first. So yeah, that's how I think the groups are gonna finish. I made some shock decisions, some basic decisions. Any prediction video is gonna be like that. You know, I think this is gonna be the AFCON I watch the most of. Just because of the channel to make content, but also because I'm interested to see, can Salah finally win the AFCON. I think if Salah wins an AFCON, guys, I think if Salah wins an AFCON, he definitely solidifies himself for top 3, and then he's in the argument for one of the best African players of all time, if not the best. The best, I meant. He's in the argument for the best African player of all time. Sadio Mane, can he defend and lead Senegal to defending the AFCON? I think it's possible. And if he wins back-to-back AFCONs leading the nation, he's the leader of that team, he's the face of Senegal, then he trumps Salah. Now Sadio Mane can be the greatest African player of all time. He's in that conversation. I think Sadio Mane is definitely top 10 already. But if he wins back-to-back, he enters the top 5, maybe even top 3. Again, it's hard to beat out guys like George Weah and Samuel Eto'o. But I'm just saying, if he does back-to-back, he gets put in that conversation. So yeah, like if you could tell from my group predictions, I think the favorites for this tournament this year are Algeria, Morocco, and Egypt, because I do think Salah's going to try to do a madness at this tournament, because really it's his last time, his last opportunity. I don't know if in 2-3 years time Salah will be playing at this level still. He's still in his peak. This might be his last year of his peak, because apparently he does want to leave Liverpool. Is he going to go to Saudi for the bag? Is he going to move to, I don't know, Barcelona, Real Madrid? I don't know. But this might be his last year at the very, very peak of his powers. And he needs to win something for Egypt. It would be a shame if he didn't. The impact he's had, his rise to stardom. It'd be a shame if he didn't win anything for Egypt. So he's coming in here with a vengeance. And he's got guys, he got that Afro guy with the dreadlocks, El Neni, there to support him. You got Marmouche behind him to support him too. So let's see. So Algeria and Morocco are two of my favorites, Senegal, and then I'm going to put a 4th team in the favorites category. I do think Nigeria. I'm sorry. When you have Boniface and Osimhen, I know I might be naive in thinking, oh, 2 amazing strikers, they have to be one of the favorites. I know I'm being naive here. Football math doesn't always add up. That's not how football math works, but I'm sorry. Boniface is playing so well. Osimhen has been playing so well for 2-3 years now. Come on. Calvin Bassey in the back, who's having a good season for Fulham this year. I think they can. I really do believe that they could be one of the favorites and push for a semifinal, maybe a finals appearance. And I think I said Senegal. Senegal is one of my favorites. I do think some surprise teams, Mali and Cape Verde, watch out for them. I do think those can be some surprise teams. Mali in particular, because they have Traore, who's playing amazing amazing football at Real Sociedad, one of their key players, because they have Haidara, who I rate highly at Leverkusen. I mean, not Leverkusen, at Leipzig, and Basuma, who's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this season. Absolutely, he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this season. And my flops, to be honest, I don't see. When I'm looking down the line, I think a flops can be your Cameroons and Ghanas. I think Cameroon and Ghana will be kind of your flop teams of the tournament. If I have to put one more team in this conversation, where would I put Ivory Coast? Because we know home nation tax is a thing in international football, 100%. Home nation tax is a thing. So when I'm looking at Ivory Coast, we went down a list of their players, and there were some very strong players there. I think at this point you can't put Ivory Coast in the favorites because Ivory Coast isn't a team that's been an African superpower the last 5, 6, 7 years. I think I'd also put Ivory Coast in the surprise category. I do think they could surprise and potentially make a semifinal, 100%. They're the hosts. This is probably Aurier's last tournament. Kosunu is playing amazing at Leverkusen. Sangare, Adingra. I'm not going to sleep on them. So yeah, guys, that was my those are my AFCON predictions. I'm not gonna do a knockout stage prediction or anything. I'm just gonna wait until the actual knockout stage is set during AFCON, and then I'll make a video after the group stages actually end. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments because again, I'm not the biggest expert on AFCON football. I'm really not the biggest expert. I did some research. I know about most of the teams and their chances going to the tournament, how they play. But again, I'm not an expert. So if you know more about AFCON and you disagree or you agree, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys think. If you join the video, like it. If you're new here, subscribe. If you keep want to seeing my face, talk about this fucking sport. You know what I mean? We love the game. We love the game. We love footy. And if you're interested in the Asia Cup, I'm gonna do an Asia Cup predictor video on this website. This website has a really nice predictor where you could go through each game, predict the score, and predict the group stages. So that will be probably a more in-depth video, probably an hour long if we're gonna go in through each match and predict the score. But fuck it. I mean, I'm on winter break from school right now anyway, so might as well do it. Gonna release an Asian Cup video probably tomorrow. I'll record it and publish it tomorrow, but this AFCON one will probably go up tonight. As I already said, if you're new here, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Please let me know I love interacting with people and talking about people foot. So if you have opinions, put them in the comments if you made it this far. Thanks for watching, guys.